What's up, good people? Excuse me. Wow, throat just got dry all of a sudden. I had to edit that out. What's up, good people? So, can I trust you? Can you trust me? Why should we trust one another? Right? Why should we trust one another? So, Paul, why should we trust one another? Did these questions build fear and anxiety? Did it make you nervous just to think about these questions? Can I trust you? Right? Why is that? Why is that? That's because trust is vital. Trust is so strong, but trust is a very, very fragile thing. It's a very fragile thing. Once trust is broken, it's hard to regain it. And even if you regain it, it's usually not at the same level. It's like, I got to keep you right here because I don't trust you as much as I used to. You've abused that. You've broken that. So with that, I'm cater this to my guys, man. I'm cater this to the guys. Like, for someone to take advantage of our trust, we have no control over that because we have no control over others and what they do. We only have control over ourselves, and that's why everything stems from within, and that's why you always got to reflect on yourself. What can you learn from the situation, even if it's not on you, even if you're not the one who did a untrustworthy thing? It still goes back to you. What did I do? How could I have resolved this issue? What else could I have done? But you usually have no control over somebody abusing our trust, right? So there's a fear of being vulnerable and weak. We like, I don't want nobody to have that power over me, that control over me, to make me feel the way that I felt, to make me feel as weak as I did. We put so much into our physical. We can build this muscle. We got that strength, but you got to build your emotional strength as well. You got to do the work on yourself in order to allow yourself to continue to trust others, because trust is vital. You need trust for every relationship to work. For every relationship to work, there has to be some level of trust established. And that's with friend, that's with enemy, that's with love, that's with relationship, that's with co-worker, that's with boss, that's with child, sibling, parent, that's with everybody, man. Partners, partnerships. You know, that's where trust comes into play. Trust has to be established for a relationship to work. Okay? So, how do you build trust? How do you build trust? It's an awesome question. I'm going to touch on it. I have my notes. I have 7 things, 7 notes towards how to build trust. Now, these things are not all encompassing. There are many more factors, but I feel like these are important. These are the juice. These are the fruits of that labor, okay? These are the meat and potatoes of how you build trust. So let's get into it. Number 1, honesty. You have to be honest. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself, and that will in turn make you honest with others. Whatever you do to yourself, I trust you to do to somebody else. When you've been in the streets like I have, trust is nothing but a 5-letter word. It's okay. It's okay. Listen, you have to be able to trust. And you saying that, I'm going to let you know that that's from past hurt that we haven't healed from trauma. When your trust is broken, it's traumatizing. But that's from past hurt, okay? Yes, it's hard to trust in the streets, but you're not in the streets no more. All right, it may be where you came from, but you're going further beyond. We're not focusing on survival no more. We're focusing on thriving. Okay, so with that, you do have trust because you do have relationships. You have a child. I'm talking to you directly. You have a child. Okay, that child trusts you to be there, and you trust the child to trust in you, in your leadership. You have family, okay? You have community, okay? Your cousin brought you out to that community, that stronghold, all right? You might be very aware, but your trust has gone up. You have trust. You have trust, all right? So how do we build trust? You got to be honest, number one. Be honest with yourself, and that allows you to be honest with others. Stay honest, okay? Everything you do, be truthful. Be truthful about what it is you're doing, why you're doing it, who you're doing it to, who you're doing it for. Number two, effective communication, okay? Effective communication. Most issues stem from miscommunication, meaning you did something untrustworthy. I'm just going to look at it as disrespect. I'm just going to cut you off. I'm just going to leave you alone. That's not effective communication. Effective communication is allowing yourself to be some type of vulnerable in order to open up and tell whoever may have hurt you that, hey, what you did I don't agree with, and it made me feel this type of way. So with that information, that person could make an adjustment, could apologize, could try, to do better. But if somebody doesn't know that that is a factor of trust for you, then how can you expect them to follow along to the script? How can you expect them to not be untrustworthy if they don't know what untrustworthy is to you? And that comes with effective communication. You have to be able to talk, man. These are how long relationships last. I tell everybody, I've been in a relationship with my woman for 13 years. She's now my fiance, soon to be my wife, right? How do we make this relationship work? Everybody think it's love. It's not love. That's the general popularity. That's the general thinking. It's not love, because I could love anybody. You see, Virginia is for lovers, right? I could love anybody. I could love you without knowing you. I could show you love without knowing you. But because I love you doesn't mean I want to sit beside you. Doesn't mean I want to wake up beside you every day. Doesn't mean I want to build with you forever. It doesn't mean that I'm going to sit here with you all the time. I got so many people that I love that I keep at a distance. Okay, I got so many people that I love that I don't talk to. I love you, but I don't want to do nothing. I don't want nothing to do with you, to be honest. So it's not love that keeps us together. It's trust and effective communication, which will be the next Mindset Monday's topic, is effective communication. So tune into that one next week. But effective communication is how you build trust, how you make relationships last, okay? We're not mind readers, all right? So what you expect of someone or how you treat someone is not how they would treat you in return. You got to show people. You got to set the boundaries, set the tone. You got to. You're the one who will be showing people how to love you, how to trust you. And if they abide by your boundaries, your set standards, it'll be easy for you to do the same for them, right? I tell everybody, unconditional love comes with boundaries. It sounds crazy, but that's what it is. If somebody knows that you can take this as disrespect, or if somebody knows that you can take this as untrustworthy, then if they care about you enough, they'll be careful and conscious to think about what it is that they're going to do if that will affect you in that manner. Effective communication, okay? Communicate with these people. Communicate with others. Communicate with others. You need effective communication to build trust. Okay, number 3, how do you build trust? In due time. Trust is built in time. Okay, it takes time to build trust. It takes time to repair trust, but it takes time to build trust. Like I said, I can love you. I don't have to know you. I don't have to see you. I automatically love you. That's given because I love myself and I do everything. I do all things in love. So that's given. But for me to trust you, I have to gauge it. I don't distrust you initially, but I don't fully trust you either. I have to gauge it. I have to see if you're, if you're honest, if you're effectively communicating. I got to see if you're trustworthy, especially depending on whatever the situation is, like wherever we are. Let's say, for instance, if we are in the streets, all right, are you trustworthy? Are you an honest person? Are you snitch? All right, I can't trust that. Are you, did you already cross over your homeboys? Did you do something, foul before? You got that on your resume? Then I can't trust you. All right. How you move, your actions, it's gonna show me where I can trust you. It's gonna gauge that level of trust. All right. So I can trust you, but I don't know where I can trust you at, where I'm gonna place you at. But that comes in due time, because your trust has to be proven. It does. It does. It has to be proven. It takes time. You have to prove your honesty with your actions. You have to back your words, all right? Show your words, all right? It's like, okay, you can say all this good stuff, but are you going to actually act on it? Are you going to uphold it? What's the real? What's the real? Okay? What's the real? So that's number 3. Trust is built in due time. Number 4, consistency. Consistency is key. Consistency is key for anything to be deemed successful. Anything that you want to be successful in, inward, outward, doesn't matter. Whatever it is, you're going to have to be consistent. Consistency is key. If somebody, just going back to effective communication in due time, if you're doing a lot of talking, but your actions don't meet up to your words, it's not trustworthy. I'm not going to trust you, all right? You can say all of what you want to do and what you're going to do. I can't trust you. If you're cheating on your spouse and your spouse is giving you the opportunity to reprimand yourself, there's a pattern. There's a pattern. And they can see it. It's like, okay, we're coming back in full circle, and boom, there you are again. Now I can't trust you. You did the same shit. You did the same thing. You keep doing the same thing that I say is untrustworthy. You can't expect somebody to change. You can't expect anybody to change. And that's why with effective communication, you put it out there, and you have the patience. In due time, they may forgive, or you may forgive, but you put it out there with the effective communication, and then in due time we see how these people will adjust to what it is that you deem trustworthy, right? This is how you build trust, man. It's sensitive. I know it's sensitive, and it's an emotional thing, but with trust, like, that's like one of the strongest things, and it's vital. You need trust. You need trust, okay? Interdependency is a stronger value than independency. Can't do it all by yourself. You need others, and you need to be able to trust at least a select few. If you never open it up to have no type of trust, then you cutting off yourself. You limiting yourself. You limiting your relationships. You limiting your connectivity. You're limiting your life. Who wants to live with limits? Like, unlock those limits by freeing yourself and opening up to be able to trust, all right? Consistency is key. Don't say one thing and do another. So number 5, showing emotion. Again, my guys, we feel like showing emotion is a weak thing. It's not. It's not. It's actually one of the strongest things that you could do, because you're willingly being vulnerable. You're willingly putting yourself out there and trusting yourself to be able to handle the repercussions of it. Okay? Trust is built by showing emotion, showing action. Don't just tell me that you trust me. Don't just tell me that you love me. Show me. Show me you love me. Show me you care. All right? And again, with effective communication, you set those boundaries. You set the tone. What does that look like to you? Does this person adhere to that? Can they adhere to what you just said is what you need to see as trustworthy? Can they do it? Are they making any type of effort? Are they making any type of effort? Acknowledge effort, because that means somebody is trying. That means they care enough about you to try to gain your trust. Acknowledge effort. The worst thing you could do with somebody is like admitting that they're wrong and then trying to build from that, is to hold that person where they are. We're not our past. We're not our past. The past is part of us, but it's behind us. Focus on that person and what they're doing now, if you want to build trust with that person. Okay? Show emotion. Show that you care. Show that you love. Show that it's real. Show that it's real. Don't just say it. Show that it's real. Okay? Number 6, do not be self-centered. Don't be self-induced, man. If you trust no one, I hear you, right? That means that even though I'll go out my way for you, you don't trust me. So when it comes down to it, you're going to choose yourself always over, the next person. Even if it's a situation where, we think in fight or flight, right? We think life or death. When it comes to trust, we think life or death. So in a life or death situation, if you're self-induced, if you're always talking about yourself, if it's only you, you're super independent, it's you, I, then when it comes down to it, you're going to be focused on you, right? If you can save both of us, you're going to choose to just save you if there's no trust, right? If you're self-induced. So how can I trust somebody who's self-induced? How can I trust somebody that if they had the opportunity to save my life and theirs, they'll only save theirs? They'll only focus on theirs. How can I trust that? Dire, I know. That's a dire way to look at it. That's an extreme way to look at it. But this is how we think. This is how I think, I know. This is how I think, okay? If I trust you, that means I feel as though in a life or death situation, you'll at least put forth some type of effort to make sure that I don't die. That's my emphasis of trust. It's extreme, but this is how I think, okay? And I feel like most people think like that, but they take the extremity out of it. I leave it there. I need to know, can I trust this person? Like, seriously. And where, like, how much can I trust you? All right, when I talked about consistency, I trust my enemy to be my enemy because you're consistent. You're showing me, or you honest enough to tell me, hey, I don't like you. I don't rock with you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. All right, because now you're honest with me. You're clear. You effectively communicated it with me. All right. I trust you as my enemy to be an enemy or do enemy shit. I trust that. Ain't no confusion there. Like, so, number 6, don't be self-centered. Don't solely focus on you. Trust is a give and take. It's a flow. Okay? It's a flow. It's a balance. Trust is a give and take. So if you're only focused on you and you don't trust nobody, you're doing yourself a disservice for those who trust you. Other people trust you, trust and believe. Other people trust you, but you're not able to see it or acknowledge it because you're so set on the hurt of trust or your trust being broken. We have to heal from that and acknowledge those who are there, who do trust us, and trust those who trust us, okay? And the last tip I got from y'all is number 7, admit mistakes. Admit when you're wrong, man. Admit when you're wrong. A lot of times we break, like something that we do could affect somebody else that we don't even know. right? What I mean by that, what I mean is an action or something that we do could set somebody off or trigger somebody or break or hurt somebody and break the trust of someone without us knowing that that's going to happen. Like, of course, like most people aren't going to go into something and do something like, I'm going to break that person's trust today, or I'm going to hurt that person today. You know what I mean? Like, I don't believe that most people do break trust intentionally. Okay? And that goes back to the effective communication. But if you do break someone's trust, be willing to admit you're wrong. You got to take full accountability. Take responsibility on your end, okay? And that goes for the person that hurt you too. You have to take the accountability, because then you're not going to forgive them. And if you don't forgive them and take the accountability in the situation, that's going to leave you where you are. It's going to leave you hurt. It's going to leave you scarred. And every time you think about trust, you're going to think about the untrustful, the distrustful, the untrust, wow, the one who broke your trust, okay? You're going to think about the one who broke your trust, how much hurt is there. If you're never willing to admit the mistake or take the full accountability, then you're never going to heal from, like I said, having your trust broken is traumatizing. It's traumatizing. It hurts, okay? And that's why so many of us, especially the guys, we get that feeling, and then it's like, oh, I'll never do that again. I'll never trust that person again. I'll never trust people again. Or I'll never get in a relationship again. And all of this stuff. Like, we just, like, outwardly put it towards everybody else, and that's not fair. It's not fair. That one person might have broken your trust, and they might have never admitted it. They might have never tried to, reprimand and like fix the situation. But it's not fair for us to hold that grudge against everybody else, because somebody else trusts you, somebody else loves you, and it's not fair for them to not get your trust because of what somebody else may have done in your past. We have to heal from that. So I trust that you all would take this info and build. You would do the right things with it. You would do positive things with it. You're not going to take it and use it to your advantage. You're not going to take it and be brash and be disrespectful on purpose, like gain somebody's trust just to cross them over. No. I trust that you're going to take this info and build and do something positive with it. Build these relationships, okay? Trust somebody. It's a sensitive thing, I know, I understand, okay? And you're not going to trust everyone. You're not. You shouldn't. Everybody's not for you. But trust somebody. There are many people in your circumference that love you, that trust you, and want the best for you. Acknowledge these people, trust these people, communicate effectively with these people, be honest with yourself and these people, okay? And know that consistency is key, and it will be built. Trust will be built in due time. Be willing to show your emotion and admit if you ever make a mistake, okay? I trust that. Trust yourself. Trust yourself, okay? If you're hurt, allow yourself to heal. Allow yourself to trust again. The person that hurt you, that broke your trust, everybody is not that person. Everybody is different. And with that, you can self-reflect. You can learn from the situation, learn from what that person did, why that person felt like they could do that with you, and you can set those boundaries and the tone for the next relationship, for the next person. And then they'll follow the guidelines towards your trust with effective communication, okay? I know it's a sensitive thing. I know that you have to be vulnerable, and we have a fear of that. But it's okay. It's okay. Allow yourself to trust once again, and keep trusting. Trust yourself. You're going to be fine. You're going to be great. You're going to be great. It's Trayvon Pratt with AIM, always improving the mind. It's Mindset Monday. Y'all stay good, man.